501, baby.
Like a little clap.
Another one.
What we got?
So this is some Red Jade. It was sent to me, which I think is either a black tea or a dark oolong. Sent to me by my friend Carl, who lives in the East Coast. So I had this tea once, and you are far more of a black tea guy, and Carl said that he found this tea to be a little unusual. So I was just curious what you would make of it.
Yeah.
Black tea is I think the last time I had black tea, I had this tea probably 3 or 4 months ago. So
got it.
I'm not a prolific black tea drinker here, but Denny, on the other hand, has been drinking the stuff since your mom introduced you to black tea from Phoenix Tea Shop.
Yeah.
Or the tea cup.
Right.
It looks like a cake.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a Red Jade cake.
I'm curious.
I mean, Red Jade is a I have that correct, right? That's like a dark oolong, like an oxidized or a black tea.
I don't know.
Okay. I think so.
We'll find out.
I mean, as people I'm sure are aware, red Hong is just black tea usually. So
I would assume so. It certainly smells like it.
okay.
Actually, burning out pretty light though. Maybe it is a oolong. It's got that in between kind of Oriental beauty smell.
Yeah.
Doing two things at once and one that's steep. And then here we go.
Yeah, definitely kind of a lighter color than one would expect. Interesting.
Given especially how dark the leaves are, quite oxidized.
Yeah.
Pretty red actually.
Yeah, and I don't think you slacked on the leaf.
I don't feel like I did.
Yeah. It smells like it should be darker though. Interesting.
That's really pleasant. Yeah, I am surprised. The color of the liqueur really doesn't seem to match the nose or the leaves. So we'll see.
Cheerio, good lads.
Cheerio, pip pip. Feels like a black tea to me.
Yeah, it does. It's just much lighter in color.
Yeah, interesting. Nice. Very sweet. This feels like a good summertime black tea.
Yeah. What would be summertime black tea versus a wintertime black tea?
I think that sometimes the Yunnan blacks especially have a kind of spicy, earthy thing that happens to them. That I really enjoy, but I find it to be a darker flavor, and I like it more for those darker months.
Okay. So the Yunnan blacks.
Yeah,
okay.
This is a bit more bright, a bit more fruity, a bit more round.
Okay, so a little brighter maybe. What about a wartime black tea?
Asking me questions.
TV where we're asking all the different questions.
Yeah, what's the wartime test?
We have another 500 episodes. We gotta shake it up a little bit. Mom test, you're out.
You're out, mom test. You go to battle for this tea.
Yeah.
Is this gonna let you vanquish your foes?
Yeah. A little darker on this brew.
Yeah, definitely. Wow. Smells great.
Yeah. Do you think it's just lighter? Do you think that's what's going on here? Or?
It must be, man. Yeah, I mean, honestly. The actual leaves themselves are pretty oxidized. They haven't lost a little bit of that red tinge, though, from the processing. So, yeah, I don't know. I agree. It's much, the liqueur is much lighter than I would expect otherwise. Yeah. It does have that Oriental beauty thing, but again, you expect a bit of a more red tinge. I'm going to push this one.
Yeah. Just see. I mean, there's no hint of bitterness. Very sweet. Very, very sweet.
Yeah.
It's not like these brews have been flavorless either.
No.
Yeah.
No, they're pleasant. I would call this a session tea. This is a daily drinker for me. This is a good morning tea, especially in a bright summer morning. Yeah, this probably would be good iced.
Yeah. Are there any black teas that would be for me at least? I'll give you an example because I don't mean to demean a whole category of tea, but for me at least, right pour is almost always a daily tea, and it's occasionally I'll be down for something a little special as far as that category, but for the most part, it's I just want a very simple profile that I can drink very easily. And for me, at least, I'm not a daily black tea drinker, but it crosses me as like similar in terms of just like a daily type of tea. Are there some black teas that like kind of transcend that to be like a touch above, or do you kind of agree with that overall characterization?
I'm sure that there are. I couldn't say that I could name one. I'm sure, certainly if you're in the comments and you do know some exquisite black teas, let us know. I do kind of think that, I don't know, for me personally, it's definitely much more of a daily drinker kind of vibe.
Because even when I've had like the allegedly super special ones that have like fancy Yunnan material, I still can't see past the kind of like daily tea type thing. So
yeah. I mean, I'm sure that there are plenty, but these teas are meant to get drank quickly. And
this one's a good one too.
Yeah,
this is like nice and leathery and very pleasant.
Yeah, I think maybe the analogy would be to sort of think of those wines that are meant to be, I can't remember what they're called, but the ones that are like early season wines meant to be drank pretty much immediately.
Okay.
They're fresh, they're crisp, they're intended not to age, they're intended to be enjoyed immediately. I think green tea, black tea, white tea, all kind of fit in that same sort of category for me at least. Certainly you can age those teas, you can press them, you can see where they go. Different materials can influence that, of course. But typically you're going to want to have something where once it's finished processing and you've received it, you want to be drinking it fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this is really good. We're talking about black tea in general. This tea specifically
and
is
I
really
like
tasty.
this tea more and more each steep.
Yeah. Grabbed a leaf here. Leaves look like they're not tips. Medium sized. They look really clean just in terms of quality, and they're very purple. I mean, they're really that kind of red purple color, so this does just seem to be slightly less oxidized, I'd say.
Do you peg this as like kind of Taiwanese oriental beauty like, or more Yunnan?
I would probably say more Taiwanese.
Okay.
Honestly, there's almost a hint of kind of an oolong, rolled oolong profile a little bit in these. Yeah, at least when I think of Chinese black tea, I do think of that sort of earthier flavor.
Yeah. As far as this being typical or unusual, would you say it's pretty typical of kind of the genre?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Again, it's not to discredit at all. I think it's really tasty. Delicious one in that. Definitely passes the mom test.
Okay,
I think this probably passes the ultralight test, honestly, based on how we've been brewing it. I would use less leaf. But I think it would work well for that.
Probably passes the wartime test too, I mean, realistically.
Yeah. Maybe if you're winning the war, it's a good one. Like, oh, cheerio, Buck. Oh, Bucky. We've been winning, haven't we? The western flank is looking awfully soft.
Okay.
Cheerio.
Cheerio, yeah.
I'm off to have my
why are we British going to war?
I feel like I'm Winston Churchill for some reason. Anyway, which I'd have to have like a drink in my hand.
If you're talking like a wartime tea, that does sound like kind of a British thing.
Righto.
Cheerio.
Righto. Let's give him all we got. Okay, I'm done. Comment
below if you think we should keep the wartime test going.
Yeah, how indispensable is the wartime test?
Has mom just been kicked off?
Right, yeah, to your future experience.
For war.
How do people get this? Is that doable?
I don't know. I'll need to ask Carl what tea this actually is, because this is just a mystery tea called Red Jade.
Got it.
As far as I'm concerned. He said it was kind of a unusual one that he was drinking, and he's a regular tea drinker too. So.
Nice. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, no, I think this is really good. It didn't taste super unusual to me. Yeah. Maybe it's unusual for a typical Yunnan black tea.
Sure.
So if this is a Yunnan black tea, then I would say that's unusual.
Okay.
But yeah, for me, this is a very familiar flavor palette. Really enjoyable. This is like just nails it. Nothing off. Sometimes like cheap black tea, especially, it's more off than on. And like it really can, yeah.
So you kind of need like a certain quality threshold.
Yeah, I would actually more so than you'd expect for black tea.
Yeah, I mean nothing worse than being at war and being like just spitting out the tea like
what is this rubbish?
Yeah, this is peacetime tea clearly.
Clearly. Oh god. Oh man, I'm gonna send this to my buddy Joe, who's British Joe,
who's hopefully not at war right now.
Yeah, but he's English, so he'll really appreciate it.
Or not.
Anyway, okay. Subscribe. We do see stuff on this YouTube channel, apparently. As well as make fun of people from all sorts of places all over the world.
But mainly Britain.
Yeah, feel free to subscribe if you're from the UK. We love you. What else? Do the stuff. Click the buttons.
Yeah. We'll see you next time.
Wu-Tang!